Well, look, y'all, it is another episode of the creative process. I am just so elated to have my two guests here. They're I could say my role brothers. I've been on tour with them. I've experienced their greatness in person. I know B from working together with him on many different occasions. L, he brought me under his wing as an MD on tour with Grace Weber. And I just really admire these guys. They're amazing. They're amazing. They're amazing. Who am I? I'm Angie B Creative. This is my show, The Creative Process, where I just have candid conversations with creatives. So I want you to follow me. Go to my website, check it out. It's pretty good. So enough about me. Let's talk about these two guys. All right. I have Brandon Butler here today, and I have Alvin Ford Jr. What's up, y'all?
Deacon Brandon Butler.
What's up?
BMike, my bad. Not Brandon.
Deacon BMike.
Deacon BMike, and then I have Bishop Alvin. My bad.
Deke moving up in the ministry.
And I guess I'm mother.
That's a fact.
Facts.
That's a fact.
What's up? How y'all feeling?
I'm good. How you doing?
Chilling.
I'm so happy to have y'all here. I was really anticipating this conversation. So
yeah, I appreciate well, I ain't get the call. B got the call, but
L, don't do that.
I appreciate the offer.
Because I call you L. L, I'll show you my call log.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here. You know what I mean? I appreciate it.
Of course. So let's get into this. Let's hop into it. Y'all about to get initiated into the game. Let's go. Let's define creativity or being a creative in your words, in your own words. Let's start with Bishop BMike.
I guess for me, it means I don't know whatever I'm thinking or like. Okay, like when I'm starting a song from scratch, it's just me and the piano and like a voice memo. So I have to imagine the whole band playing by myself. I'm sitting there by myself, but I gotta imagine everybody part. And then I do what I do, and then of course Alvin do what he do, and DJ or Ken and I, whoever I decide to use. So it's basically like whatever I'm imagining, I'm putting it on wax. Just using my imagination and trying to just bring my vision to, you know, to the you know what I mean?
To life.
Yeah, just bring my vision to life. That's about it.
So
that's just all creativity stuff. Like just bringing what I'm thinking, putting it on wax.
I love it. So you're like a puzzle piecer. You piece it together from nothing. You bring nothing to something.
Yeah.
That's dope, B. That's dope. I like that definition. Alvin, how do you define creativity or being a creative?
Well, I think being a creative is anybody who's like innovative at just, whatever, coming up with whatever dope concepts, you know what I mean? They feeling like, I think people who do, anybody who creating dope merch lines, guys who create sneakers, artists like the painter BMike, you have songwriters, singers, dancers, photographers, video. Like I feel like anybody who's doing something dope and innovative and creative, I view that as a creative. You know what I mean?
Right, like you doing this. This is creative.
You know what I mean? I feel like everybody are artists in their own right. You know what I mean? There's different lanes and different genres of music, but different lanes of creativity. You know what I mean? So I think whatever it is you're doing, if it's dope and it's creative, you're creative. You're an artist. You know what I mean? So that's how I view it. That's how I view the
I like
situation.
that, Al. I
Yeah.
like that you said, because you're a musician and you could have very well come from the angle of just music, right? You
Yeah.
in that, but you recognize that creativity is not just music. It's
Right.
like you
Right.
said, dope merch. It could be culinary arts. It could be so many different things.
Yeah, it's like it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like I think whoever came up with the what is it, the paint and sip. The people whoever
Yeah.
started the ride around the city on the bike with the lights and the DJ, that like all that stuff
Yeah.
is innovative to me. So I view all of those people as artists and creatives. You know what I mean? So that's my definition of what a creative is. Anybody that's doing something dope and like just a fresh idea, you're creative, you're an artist to me. So that's my
Absolutely.
take.
And like the definition of a creative to me is YouTube, because y'all are dope and y'all have done major things and y'all continue to do dope things. So I
I
love that.
appreciate that.
Of course, of course. That brings me into my next question. So you two have been on the scene for a minute, and you two have been on the scene together. I feel like y'all are the dynamic duo, and I know that sounds lame, but you guys linked up. I mean, I've heard stories of you linking up, and you guys not only networked across, but you networked up together. So
Right, right.
I want to know, first of all, before we hop into that, very briefly, how did y'all discover your musical talents? And I'm going to start with BMike.
Well, I didn't really start playing piano until I was 16. I started with drums, and I've been
Go
knowing
ahead, figure it
Al
out.
since we was like real small.
Really?
No, yeah, I've been knowing him a long time. And
Right.
his daddy was like, his daddy was a drummer. And so
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
they did like a little Soul Children musical at my home church. That was my first time ever hearing his daddy play. Had the cowboy boots on here and with the little and with Ishmael uncles, the twins.
Right.
The first song I heard your daddy play was that Soul Children song, Holy Dum Dum Dum
Right.
Dum. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
your dad's the man, Al. Your dad's the man.
Yeah,
music,
nah,
right?
definitely.
Music ran in my family. My grandma played a little bit.
Wow.
My grandpa brother, my uncle Tommy, he's like a New Orleans legend
Wow.
that I didn't know about, but I didn't know he's that big of a legend, but I know now.
Wow.
When I was young, I always had like a little passion for the piano, but I ain't never, because I wanted to be a drummer. Then when I heard Alvin, I was like, oh no, never mind. And Alvin is doing that. Carlos Denicia, her brother. He used to be a cold drummer. Yeah, Carlos used to be the truth. I used to hear him a lot and kind of changed my mind. But then Jason Hodge and Kendrick Marshall, I heard them when I was maybe like 14, 15. And both of them like changed my life and made me want to play piano.
Wow.
Yep. And
I didn't know you dibbled and dabbled with the drums like that.
Yeah, I was a drummer first.
Do you think that most people who play keys start off on the drum?
Most of your killing keyboard players was drummers first.
Why is that? Like, I don't understand.
More money. More money. You know, the drummers used to get about $50. Back in the day, the drummers used to get like $50. The keyboard player. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I just fell in love with the piano, and I just been playing ever since. Just sharing all night. So I met Jason and Kendrick at this musical, and I bought the DVD from that musical.
Okay.
And I learned everything they played that night on that DVD.
Wow.
And I'm me today.
That's dope. And like, you're one of the best to do it.
I appreciate that. I ain't one of the best, but I appreciate that.
No, you are. You are, but I love the humility.
Yeah.
Al, when you find out you play keys?
Say what?
Let me find out you playing keys.
He play a little bit. That's the thing, though. He know how to pick it out.
A little bit. I ain't playing it out in the streets.
Wow.
I'll sit down in the studio and figure it out. You know?
There's so much to learn about y'all.
Yeah, I ain't doing that out in public though.
So, like, how did you get started? I know B said that y'all been knowing each other for a long time, but how did you tap into your musicality? I mean, your dad's a drummer, so
yeah, like my dad was a drummer, so or is, so it was never really a thing to. I honestly don't know. I like my whole life I've always just done it because my dad was I guess the popular drummer. You know, he was the guy playing all the records and the concerts and all that stuff like that. So for me growing up, it's just what I was around all the time. Like I was with my dad 24/7. So yeah, it's just all I ever did. You know what I mean? Like I think I had my first church job when I was like 6 maybe.
wow.
You know what I mean? Like I was a drummer for the church. So it's just I've always been around music and playing and yeah, like I've been on Brandon since I was probably like 4.
That's
Maybe like 4 or 5. He was a drummer. We always sit on the so we wasn't even playing. We used to kind of sit on the row and watch Denicia brother. He was the kind of drummer. Him and Alvin Baptiste and Jerry, and all them, like they was kind of like the dudes, and we was like the youngins on the sideline, just kind of chilling. So we go way, like when we tell people that like we been on like people be like, oh yeah, like 10, 15, like nah, literally since like shorties sitting on the side at church. You know what I mean? We've been figuring out music for a long time.
That's dope. But the commonality here is that both of you, like, music runs through your veins. Like, your family members have been in the game. B, you are connected to legends, and you didn't even know it. L, your dad is one of the legends in NOLA. So, like, that's dope. And y'all have been knowing each other since kids.
Yeah.
So y'all were the shorties sitting on the side, watching and waiting. Like, y'all were literally studying.
Yeah.
Waiting for your turn, right?
That's how we kind of connected. So once we got older and, when I saw Al, like I ain't gonna say after Katrina, we like re-met again. And it was like, I found somebody that was just as passionate as I was.
Yeah.
That was kind of like hungry for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember our first AIM convention. We were so inspired. Like we went in 2008. And
right.
we left that joint. We used to travel with Pastor Jay Reed.
Okay.
We've been traveling since we was young though. Like young.
And y'all still traveling together. And we're traveling after this thing subsided.
But yeah, after we left that AIM convention in 2008, that like changed our perspective on music, even shows. Like I remember when YouTube first came out, we used to be watching like live shows. Of course, Usher was like our favorite band back in the G.
Right.
But it was just his passion for music. I found somebody that I can like really connect with and just love playing music. And then DJ came along.
Yeah.
And that like put the icing on our cake, you know what I mean? DJ was like he was the man, you know what I mean? The bass player that we needed, you know what I mean? So we all came up together. And the rest is, what it is.
Okay. So the passion that you both had connected you all.
Yeah.
And that's how you began to network across and up together.
Yeah.
So it was more that moment. What was that moment where y'all were like, man, like we are really dope as a trio? When did that moment happen? Was it that convention you just talked about, or what?
I don't think it was a moment, to be honest. Where we were just like, oh yeah, we dope. Like we said, we a trio. I think it was more so we just ain't have no gigs.
Right.
And we had no gigs, and we wasn't
no gigs.
Nobody was calling us. So we used to go. So at the time, I had the key to my Uncle Jeff Church, True Light. B had the key to
Craig Wilson
Church, Bishop Craig Wilson. DJ had the key to his church out in Hornville. and we didn't have no gigs, so we literally just go in the churches and figure it out. You know, I think that's part of the reason why we still kind of we always still to this day kind of play with Josh Caglin and all of them. You know what I mean? Because those kind of groups were, and like your Ron Hatley's and them people like that was the gigs. Well, I ain't gonna say gigs and Kim Cherie and all. And we kind of figure stuff out on
their stuff.
On their stuff. You know,
Ryan Hadley and Kim Cherie was like our first little situation. That's
so they gave y'all a chance when y'all build.
They gave us a chance with all the technology stuff, all the blooper stuff. We bring in the drum machines. You know what I mean?
Trying to figure it all out. They gave us a chance to figure it out. You know, so we used a lot of their stuff, a lot of their shows and musicals and concerts and stuff like that. Even like I said with Josh Gaylor, his stuff was like probably like the first live recording we ever played. You know what I mean? Like we ever did. So, and that was a catastrophe. You know what I mean? But it was a situation where we was figuring it out on the spot. We didn't really have nobody teaching us and showing us like this how you do it. We had to figure it out. So I think for us, that was kind of when we finally made it through all those situations and started figuring things out and realizing that, you know, we could play, and then people started hearing us play together and started hiring us. And then at that point we were just like, oh, okay, cool, like let's go harder and let's just rock as a trio and keep it going.
Yes, because y'all have done big gigs. Can y'all do a little name dropping? I know I've seen y'all at Essence like a lot.
Yeah.
We're gonna touch down on the tour that I did with y'all in a little bit. But I know I came to y'all show one New Year's Eve, Pretty Lights. That was dope. Like y'all have done so much together.
Yeah, we've done a lot. We probably, I mean, name dropping is so corny and I hate it.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. Y'all don't have to.
All right. We did a lot.
You know that they've done a lot. I like them because they're humble, but they've done a lot of gigs and have traveled the world. So
yeah, for sure. Now we definitely we've been blessed as a trio. I can say that. You know what I mean? Like to go from you know, no gigs and sitting up. Like I got my first MPC. B got me my first MPC that I've had. You know what I mean?
What is that?
It's like a drum machine, like a beat machine that you create beats on and all stuff like that.
Like Kanye used to do that.
Yeah, that's when we ain't had no worries. We used to buy each other stuff.
Yeah.
We were still living with our parents at the time.
Yeah, I mean, birthday, I know.
Birthday come around, I used to buy my dog a drum. I used to buy a DJ a gig bag. You know what I mean?
I just thought about that. You said I bought DJ his first like double bass case because he used to have like 2 bass cases. I'm like, bro, happy birthday, bro. It's a double bass bag.
Yeah. I love that.
But now we used to have those moments where like, you know, sitting up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, like spending the night at each other's houses trying to figure out how to
coming knocking on the door at the church because we playing so loud.
Yeah, like
minimum.
We've been through a lot, you know what I mean? So to go from those moments to, you know, traveling the world, you know, flying on jets, you know, being on national TV, major festivals and headlining tours and stuff, like it's always, even for me at this moment, I think more so in the pandemic, I look back at all that stuff and just be like, yeah, it's kind of insane. We went, you know, from just being like 3 dudes from New Orleans that nobody really knew about for real, to, you know, being able to do what we love to do for a living and really travel the world at the highest level you could possibly do it on. You know what I mean? I think all those things, those situations are amazing, and we've just been blessed, to be honest.
But I love the love that I hear, the brotherly love. Y'all are like really family.
That's a
fact. I don't think we never had an argument, like real talk.
Really?
We never had like a legit fight. Like I don't think nobody never called nobody hands out. Like
it never happened.
It never happened. Especially with me and L. It never happened. Like I never got to the point that I wanted to fight L.
Wow.
Or DJ.
Brothers for real.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Y'all talk about the craziest gig y'all have ever been on together. The craziest gig.
What
Yeah,
what
which kind of
definition?
crazy?
Definition of crazy.
Yeah, what kind of
Yeah,
crazy?
yeah, like what's the killing crazy or like
Right.
Okay, let's do both.
or like Lord have mercy, get me off the stage crazy.
Let's do both. So let's start off with killing crazy.
Ooh, I don't want to say no names. With the other one. Killing crazy, I think for me, it had to be. Oh, dang, it's so many, but
Pick one. The one that comes to your head immediately.
I think it's the one I played with Mono at the Maple Leaf.
Oh yeah.
That was a crazy gig.
That was crazy.
Why?
Because I played with Mono Neon. that's why. That dude is amazing, and it's the stuff he play. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He just another creative,
right?
On top of you being creative, you know what I mean? He flipping what you playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Al?
The most killing that I could think of, dang, we had a lot of killing gigs, but probably the most killing I felt was like up there. Maybe when we played with Kelly Price at Essence Fest.
Oh yeah.
Because that one was crazy.
That is. I didn't even think about that one.
That one was crazy. That was with B, DJ, of course Reggie,
and Josh Conley.
That one was kind of insane.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the flip side.
All right, so for me, the worst gig I ever been on, I was playing for this artist. I ain't saying no names, but it was a last minute situation, and dude was like, "Man, just flow behind." I'm like, "Cool." So your man's playing the track, I'm playing, and she is singing in the entire. Hey, so I think this was around Essence time. This was Essence Fest time. I think Teddy Riley had like an after party at the Republic.
Not Teddy Riley.
And so he had like a bunch of artists come and sing, bless the stage, whatever, sing your original music. So there was this one artist, he or she got up there. And, it was embarrassing, especially to me. And so I don't know if you ever been to Republic. You ever been to Republic?
I have.
Yeah. So the way the Republic stage is only one way up, and the other side is like VIP section. The other side of the stage is like VIP section where they got all the sofas and it's all gated off. Yeah. So I remember after I hit the very last note, I walked and jumped in the VIP section and ran out the club. So Al called me like, "B, where you at?" I'm like, "Son, I'm on the GLO." They say, "Damn, what happened?" I checked out that thing, man. The most embarrassing one. I ain't even want to talk to the musicians. I ain't want to talk to nobody. I got up out there. I don't want nobody. Who that was on the keyboard?
Right.
Nobody.
But you don't think they would have understood that it wasn't?
Nah.
Because these days, don't work like that.
Oh man, it was getting so good. Tune in next week for more funny stories and to dive even deeper into Brandon BMike Butler and Alvin Ford Jr.'s creative processes. Don't forget to follow me on all social media platforms, and I'll see you next week at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Until then, I love you, my creatives. Remember to be authentic, to keep pushing, and keep creating.